Hey MSSE class, I'm not with you today because I'm out traveling for work, but I still wanted to present with my group, so here I am to give you an overview of what I worked on. And I'm really just going to cover one cool feature because I don't have a lot of time. So what I did was the secondary processes like project management, planning, configuration management, defect tracking, and reviewing and inspections. So I'm going to go over a tool choice that we made, Git and GitHub, and how those relate to how we're going to be doing configuration management and how that's going to combine with peer review and inspection. So with Git, we're going to be using what's called a branching workflow. So every time we go to work on a new case from our project management or defect tracking software, we're going to create a new branch with that case name. Then we're going to do anything that we need to do regarding that case in that branch, and that's going to be called a topic branch. When we finish up the work on that branch, we're going to go ahead and we're going to push it up to GitHub, which acts as a centralized storage for our repositories. And so here I am in GitHub in our repository, and you can see that I have some recently pushed branches, and that's the work for that case. So what I'm going to do with those in GitHub is called a pull request. So we're going to generate a pull request, um, and what that does is gives us a place to do our code review and inspection. So adding the documentation. So this case was to add the documentation. I would give like a title and a body here for this pull request. So I go ahead and send the pull request. And now what happens is everyone at company, ABC company, gets to be involved with this pull request. They get to add comments as a whole or to specific lines of code. If they find issues with the code, because this is like a peer review / inspection, the original author can go ahead and push additional changes to reflect the concerns. And this kind of all works itself out organically. And then once you've had a bunch of comments like looks great um, and all that stuff, eventually this can be merged back into the master branch. And the master branch is the mainline branch where all the releases will come from. So the policy in effect here is that anytime you work on something for a case, you create a topic branch. Um, that topic branch gets all the work. A pull request gets made in GitHub, and then that pull request is what's reviewed and inspected. And for little changes, it might be nothing but like a hey, great job. But for really complicated things, you can get really in-depth discussions with tagging of code and all that stuff. Eventually, this all gets pulled back into mainline, but one of the artifacts of this is this pull request discussion, which is a great artifact in the source control, and it's maintained and it has a history. So that's how we're using GitHub as a tool for our configuration management with Git, a branched workflow, and peer review inspection. What we hope for ABC Company this does is gives immediate feedback to developers and helps it as a learning experience, and also an easy way for the entire team to find potential bugs and shortcomings in the code. So thanks. Hope everyone's having a great class.